Jamel Eugene, CEO of Gryppers. Athletic background, high school state All-American, college team captain, 4 years, 2-year starter at NC State.
Relationship with Jamel and I, we're like brothers now. I met him when he came in as a freshman. I was already at NC State. I like to help guys, so I took a lot of guys under my wings, and Jamel was one of them. And so happened that he was my roommate, and he had a very kindred spirit. You know, it was easy for me to get along with him. He was just loving, and he was always serious about business when he needed to be serious, and that's a key component to our business relationship because I know I can trust him. He's on top of things.
I was one of those guys who I took everything to heart. So I could have a fumble in practice, or I could have a drop pass, or whatever the case is, and I was always hard on myself. Something that a coach wouldn't notice or a player wouldn't notice, I'd notice, and I just go back and try and critique and make things better. So I think it was the end of my freshman year where I decided not to use gloves. I was wearing gloves my whole life, Pop Warner on up through college, and then I just decided I can't really feel the ball, you know, and I'm a running back. I have the ball, you know, probably 50% of the time. So for me to be able to control it the way I need to, you know, I need to be able to have a better feel of it. And a lot of guys, they cut the fingertips out of their gloves and things like that. And I didn't think it looked tight, to be honest. I mean, I kind of saw myself as a trendsetter because things I did when I was in college, if you go back to NC State now, you see a lot of kids doing now. So I didn't think it looked tight, and part of playing football was, you know, you not just play good, you look good. So I just wore tape. I decided that with the tape, I could still have the friction that I needed to kind of reduce a little bit of the impact, but I could still get a lot of functionality. And with me being, you know, taking pride in blocking, you know, I needed something to kind of still protect my skin and my hands. So I just started wearing tape, and I ended up loving it. Great feel for the ball. You know, I did have that protection with a little bit of the tape, you know, a little friction reduction. And I just, from there, just kept wearing it. It looked good, and I kind of made it my own thing.
The Gryppers have a lot of benefits, and I'm going to start with football because that's my baby, that's my love. In that sport, it's so much going on, and longevity is key, especially on a professional level. The longer you can stay in the league, the better off you are. And there's a saying go, you can't make the club in the tub. And the product is just the intricate details into that, you know, the aid and assist in the dislocation of the finger, the grip, I mean, the materials that we use to put those components together and to actually have this product. And as far as football, it's so working and functional because guys wear tape. Wherever you see tape, there's Gryppers. You know, it supersedes tape. I know that, you know, a lot of guys wear the tape to help with the fingers being dislocated, or if they're already, you know, dislocated, they'll do a buddy taping system where you tape two fingers together to absorb the impact and try to alleviate some of that impact. But it restricts your range of motion. And with the Gryppers, they're slotted individually on each finger, so you still have the range of motion of your fingers, and you still have that tightness to aid and assist that dislocation of the finger, which will help the finger not being past its normal motion, which will cause the dislocation. As far as the grip goes, you know, a lot of guys, you know, our hands, especially as defensive backs, you know, they always pick on us about we can't catch. So to have the grip, you know, it's a lot of things is it's a mental thing. If you feel like you can do something, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna do it. So with having that grip on the Gryppers, and you know the name's Gryppers, so it has to have grip. But to have that grip, it's a mind thing, and then to be able to feel the ball. Gloves can't give you a natural feel of the ball because there's so much padding, so much material. Whereas the Gryppers, and you know, they're a lot thinner. We don't have to worry about sweat. You know, when your body starts sweating profusely, it gets sleek, and you know you can't really grip anything. That's a lot of times when it starts to rain, a lot of guys, the gloves come off. Where with the Gryppers, you can keep them on. You still have access to your tips of your finger, or you can still grasp the ball. You have that mental conscious of when the object gets to your hand, you feel it, and now your brain tells you to close. As far as a 1/10 of a second, because you have padding on, you can't feel it, and that football is a game of inches, and that quick, your brain don't function to close it down, the ball is through your fingers. And so with the Gryppers, I mean, it's just so many things that goes into it, and one of the best things about it is fashion. It's fashionable. A lot of times with us as consumers, if we don't like the way something looks, we won't buy it. You know, I go into a store and I look at a shirt. If I don't like the way a shirt looks, I won't even try it on to see if it fits me, you know. The future for Gripper right now, it's sky's the limit. We don't set ourselves in a box and say, hey, this is what we're gonna have, let's master this. No, we're gonna master everything we put our hands on and our minds to it.
This is just the first of 3 designs, you know, so there's still more to it, and there's different phases of the Gryppers, but for this design even, we just see it, we're gonna get all 3 on the market.
I see that in the sports industry, it's everywhere. Like I said, everywhere you see tape or a glove, you see Gryppers. And I just see that it's a trend set. It's gonna take over. It's gonna be the next thing, you know, that thing that I have to have, and it's gonna be Gryppers. And we see, I mean, from the youth, little kids want to wear them because you see your idols and you see these professional athletes that's wearing it. As a child, I want what they have, you know. So I see the Gryppers being in youth football and, you know, and everywhere, you know, wherever there are sports, there's Gryppers.
We want to attack every sport. We want to be a one product, 3 phases that are adapted by every sport. And I can see us being a major player in every sport, if not the leader.